Perseus propelled himself southward, leaving the wintry landscapes far behind. Past the mythical Hyperboreans, the Tin Isles, and the extensive Iberian coast, he traversed the shimmering blue expanse of the summer sea. Terns and seagulls frolicked and beckoned him to play, while dolphins leapt alongside him, offering to carry him on their sleek backs. Throughout the nights, sea nymphs serenaded him with their melodious songs, and tritons resounded on their conchs, celebrating Galatea, their queen, as she rode her chariot of pearled shells. As the sun ascended higher each day, vanishing into the sea with breathtaking swiftness at nightfall, Perseus, akin to a graceful seagull, skimmed the cresting waves, his feet untouched by the saline waters. Leap by leap, he traversed the billowing sea, his tireless limbs carrying him forward. The mighty ocean seemed to welcome his presence, as if the very elements conspired to aid him on his quest. And so it was that Perseus's unwavering determination led him to the majestic Mount Atlas, its imposing figure bathed in a rosy hue by the setting sun. Verdant valleys, cascading waterfalls, towering trees, and exotic ferns and flowers adorned its slopes. Yet, there was no trace of human habitation, no smoke rising from hidden glens, no dwelling, no sign of life. Perseus pressed onward, guided by the distant sound of enchanting voices that resonated through the air. The voices grew clearer, resembling the mellifluous melodies of nightingales concealed within the thickets. Perseus halted, captivated by the ethereal song, but the words eluded his understanding, for they were a language lost to time, a tongue that remained a mystery to all who came after him. Gathering his courage, he advanced toward the sound and beheld a breathtaking sight. There, amidst a captivating dance, the nymphs, daughters of the evening star, swayed hand in hand. Their movements were grace personified as they encircled a mystical tree adorned with golden fruit, bending under its weight. Yet, coiled around the tree's base lay Ladon, the ancient and ever-watchful dragon, his eyes dry and gleaming as he listened intently to the maiden's song. Perseus, not fearing the dragon's presence, found himself momentarily overwhelmed by the radiant beauty of the fair maidens, daughters of the silver evening star. In turn, they ceased their enchanting dance, their voices trembling with both awe and trepidation, as they called out to him.
Who are you? Are you Heracles, who seeks to plunder our garden and lay claim to our precious golden fruit?
Perseus answered, I am not the mighty Heracles, and I desire none of your golden fruit. Fair nymphs, I beseech you, guide me to the path that leads to the Gorgon, for it is my mission to confront and vanquish her. But the fair maidens, with a touch of sorrow in their voices, implored him to stay and join them in a dance around the eternal tree in their garden, a place untouched by winter, where the gentle southern wind and warm sunlight dwell. They had danced alone in that enchanted haven for 1,000 years, longing for a companion. Come, come, fair boy. Play with us for a while. Your quest can wait. We know not the way to the Gorgon, and we fear she will turn you to stone. With unyielding determination, Perseus replied, I cannot dance with you, fair maidens. I must carry out the will of the gods. Show me the way to the Gorgon, lest I wander aimlessly and meet my demise in the treacherous waves. Sighing and shedding tears, the maidens responded, If you are set on your own destruction, so be it. We do not know the path to the Gorgon, but we shall seek guidance from our uncle, Atlas, who resides high on the mountain peak. He is the brother of our father, the silver evening star, and from his lofty perch, he gazes across the vast ocean and into the unshapen land. Perseus and the nymphs ascended the towering mountain, and there they found Atlas, kneeling and fulfilling his divine duty. They inquired about the location of the Gorgons, and the giant, with a calm and gentle demeanor, pointed towards the distant sea, revealing that he could indeed spot the Gorgons resting on a faraway island. However, he warned Perseus that the young hero could never approach them without the Helmet of Darkness, a mythical artifact that renders its wearer invisible. Eager to acquire the helmet, Perseus asked the giant where he could find it. Atlas, with a smile, informed him that the helmet was beyond the reach of any living mortal, lying deep in the realms of Hades, among the domain of the dead. However, Atlas presented Perseus with an alternative. If the young hero returned victorious with the head of Medusa, he would show him the beauty and horror of the severed Gorgon head, thus turning the giant himself into an everlasting stone. Atlas longed for respite from his ceaseless task of upholding the heavens and the earth. Perseus readily agreed to the giant's request, sealing the pact. The eldest of the nymphs, who possessed immortality, descended into a dark cavern among the cliffs, emanating smoke and thunder, a gateway to the depths of hell itself. Perseus and the remaining nymphs anxiously awaited her return, their hearts filled with trepidation. Finally, after 7 days, the nymph emerged from the gloom, her face pale and her eyes dazzled by the sudden light. In her hand, she held the coveted Helmet of Darkness. Amidst tears and kisses, the nymphs bid farewell to Perseus, but his desire to fulfill his mission burned brightly within him. They placed the magic helmet upon his head, and in an instant, he vanished from their sight, hidden from the eyes of mortals and immortals alike. Perseus embarked on his perilous journey, venturing into the heart of the unshapen land, an eerie realm devoid of natural order. In this desolate place, where day and night merged and nothing had a name, he sensed the approach of the Gorgons. Caution dictated that he pause, for to encounter Medusa, the most dreaded of the Gorgons, risked a petrifying fate. Recalling the wise words of Athena, Perseus ascended into the sky, raising the mirrored shield high above him. Gazing into its reflection, he surveyed the scene below. There, sprawled out like colossal creatures, lay the slumbering Gorgons. Shielded by the Helmet of Darkness, he descended cautiously, his heart pounding in his chest as he neared the fearsome monsters. Despite their terrifying appearances, he couldn't help but feel a twinge of compassion for Medusa, whose countenance radiated both beauty and sorrow. Her appearance resembled that of a nymph, except for the knitted eyebrows and clenched lips, eternally burdened by care and pain. Her long neck shone with an otherworldly radiance, captivating Perseus. He silently wished it were her sisters, less fair in appearance, that he had been sent to vanquish. However, as Medusa tossed and turned, vipers' heads awoke from within her tresses, their eyes gleaming with a dry brightness. They hissed and displayed their venomous fangs. Medusa, revealing her brazen claws, thrashed about restlessly. Perseus observed the hideous truth behind her enchanting facade, a foul and venomous creature like her sisters. Summoning his courage, Perseus approached Medusa, his eyes averted, and struck swiftly with his blade, Herb, aiming for a single decisive blow. It proved sufficient, and Medusa met her demise. Swiftly, he wrapped the severed head in a goat's skin, careful not to meet her lifeless gaze. Then, with a bound, Perseus ascended into the heavens, propelled by his trusty sandals, leaving behind the lifeless body of Medusa, turned to stone upon the rocky terrain. As he returned to Atlas, carrying the gruesome trophy, the giant's laborious task came to an end. Perseus revealed the head of Medusa, captivating Atlas, who longed for release from his eternal duty. The giant transformed into a rigid crag of stone, forever watching over the clouds. With gratitude and farewell, Perseus bid the nymphs goodbye. Eager to find his way back home, he sought their guidance once more. They, however, pleaded for him to stay and be their companion, for they were maidens isolated from both gods and mortals. Perseus, despite their entreaties, politely declined, accepting the magical fruit they offered, a sustenance that would stave off hunger for 7 days. he set forth on his return journey, guided eastward over the desolate shores of Libya. These shores were bestowed upon Zeus by Poseidon when he cleaved open the Bosphorus and Hellespont, accepting the barren land in exchange, a land of desolation, composed of shingles, rocks, and sand.